Today I'm going to walk you through my simple and lazy method for making sourdough bread. I started making sourdough, then stopped myself because it was too hard, and after many requests of missing eating fresh sourdough, mostly from myself, and after a lot of trial and error, I was back at it with a routine that became easy to follow for me. My recipe is a 75% hydration recipe. Working in percentages or ratios means it's easy to make more or less dough, and quickly work out the amount of ingredients. This recipe makes 2 small sourdough loaves, as this is the space that I have in my Dutch oven. So 450 grams of bread flour. I use the Wallabies Baker's flour that I buy from my local Woolworths. Bread flour has a high protein content, which helps the strength of your dough. I've had success with regular plain flour also, but this flour gives me a good result and is relatively cheap. 600 grams of lukewarm water. Mine is usually around 40 degrees, just warmer than body temperature. Add 11 grams of salt. I use flaked sea salt, just for fun. And add around 60 to 80 grams of sourdough starter. The aficionados will dislike me for saying this, but it doesn't need to be active, just alive. So I keep my starter in the fridge, and I feed it every 4 to 6 days when I make bread. I feed it with 50 grams of flour and 50 grams of water, and then back in the fridge it goes. Give it a good mix. I use chopsticks, because I think chopsticks are easy to clean, and they do a really good job. Then I get my hands in there, I do another mix until things come together. And you don't need any more than that, just a nice shaggy dough. Once mixed, cover the dough and let it rest for an hour. This step is called Autolyse. It allows the flour to absorb the water and start building the gluten structure. After the hour is up, it's time for the first stretch and fold. Lift a section of the dough, stretch it upwards, and fold it over itself. Repeat the process all the way around the dough, and then turn it over so the smooth side is on top. Cover it again and rest for another hour. Repeat the stretch and fold process, letting the dough rest for 1 hour between each session. This step is crucial in building strength in the dough and creating a nice sourdough texture. I aim for 4 stretch and folds. After the last stretch and fold, cover the dough and leave it for multiple hours. I usually start my dough at about 9 AM and aim to finish at about 5 or 6 PM. Note that if it's a hotter day, then you will need to leave less time for the dough to rise, as it can overproof. At the end of the day, turn the dough onto a flat surface. Flour your bannetons or a bowl with a tea towel inside, generously with rice flour. Then cut your dough in half. Once your dough is cut in half, stretch it out into a rectangular shape. I'm terrible at shaping, but this is what I do. I chuck it all together, roll it up, and then I place it into the banneton. And then I squish the bottom some more as well. The tighter, the better. Once completed, I put on a shower cap, and then I put one over the banneton as well, and I pop it in the fridge overnight. Here are some scenes of some flowers in my yard. Now the next morning, after waking up in a haze, preheat your oven. I aim for 240 to 250 degrees. Once the oven is on, place your Dutch oven into the oven to preheat for at least 40 minutes to an hour. Remove the sourdough from your fridge and lightly flour a small piece of parchment paper. Turn over your sourdough onto the parchment paper and rub off excess rice flour. Using a sharp blade, score the loaf from top to bottom. I like to do mine on an angle. Put it in the bottom of the Dutch oven along with some ice cubes. The steam from the ice cubes will help give the bread a nice rise and a nice crust. Put it in the oven and cover it up. Bake for 20 minutes. After 20 minutes is done, I like to take the lid off of my Dutch oven, turn it upside down, place a few ice cubes in there to continue creating that steam. And then I like to bake for about 13 to 15 minutes. Once baked, let the bread cool on a wire rack for at least an hour before slicing. And that's it, tasty sourdough made at home. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. Happy baking.